Nico and I had thought the adventure was over. Actually, we'd only just started. Nothing was what it seemed. On a trail of corruption and greed, we'd stumbled upon a murderous conspiracy. A conspiracy whose roots lay in mysteries older than the written word. We didn't really have any choice. Catalonia, the foothills of the Pyrenees. After a short flight and a long drive, Nico and I arrived at CASTELL del SANTS. Back in London, we'd tracked down La Malédiction and had started to unravel its secrets. The painting was a coded map to the location of the Tabula Veritatis, an ancient artifact which Father Simeon had claimed could raise the devil, for which he and others had already been murdered. We had to find the tabula before the killers. We knew they would stop at nothing. Let's just hope we got here before the bad guys.
Seems quiet enough.
Looks like nobody's been here for years.
Must have been a beautiful place, once upon a time. You think the tabula is really going to be here?
Somewhere, if we can just decode the painting. Well, it looks deserted.
Deserted? I don't think so.
Did you see who it was?
No, the sun was in my eyes.
Looks like somebody's beating us to it.
But who? Medovsky?
Langham?
Whoever it is, we need to get in there.
All right. You make a diversion. I'll try and reach some cover. And be careful.
Are you kidding? You're the one who's going to get shot. Climbing over the wall would not have been a great idea. The crumbling wall offered limited cover. A rusty old helmet lay on the ground. A helmet on a pole? Always useful. I just hope this works. Are you ready?
Can't wait. Go! Oh no. I'd made it without getting shot, but I sure didn't feel lucky. Somehow I had to distract the shooter again, and this time I was on my own. With a ghost from the past giving me an evil stare. The old car had been abandoned long ago. The side view mirror glinted in the sun. A pile of old brandy bottles had been discarded behind the car. A pile of apples had just been laid on a sheet, just out of the goat's reach. The old tree offered cover from the shooter. Ripe apples hung from the tree. The tree was way too sturdy for me to shake any apples down. Uh-oh.
Ouch!
Ripe apples hung from the tree.
Oh, heck. Ow!
Hey, that's mine. The goat had eaten Hobbs' carefully crafted provenance.
Oh, heck.
The apples were bruised.
Go on. Eat this, boy.
The goat couldn't reach the apple pile.
Oh, boy, you're gonna love this.
I distracted the goat, but it wouldn't take him long to eat that apple. The goat now had a whole pile of apples to tuck in. I tossed him my last apple. The sun was blinding. I blinded the shooter. Time to make a dash for it.
Don't think I can't see you, Senor. If you so much as move an inch, I shall shoot you.
The shooter was just an old man in a straw hat with a large gun.
Senor, please. Whoever you are, hold your fire. I'm not armed.
Good. That makes it easier for me to shoot you.
My name is George Stobart. I'm a friend.
I have no friends.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Please, put the gun down.
No. Leave now, or I shoot.
All we want is a quick look inside the Castell.
I don't believe you. You are here to kill Senor Marquez.
Senor Marquez? He's alive? Well, he'll vouch for us.
You don't fool me like that. Get out of here before I kill you.
Senor Marquez knows me, I swear.
And I know a lie when I hear one. Go now, or I shoot.
Wait! I have important information.
Vostè, venghi a me.
Do you understand what I am saying?
Try saying it and let's see.
Well, I'm George Stobart, and I come in peace. Please, put the gun down. I'm not armed.
And I'm still not hearing an explanation.
I can understand the old man being edgy, but you look like a woman who's seen the world.
Nice work. You managed to insult Ramon and me in one sentence.
Do you mind putting that down? I've had a really bad day.
Guns don't agree with you?
No, and neither do goats. I've got bruises in places that, well, you know, places.
So leave.
We're here looking for something.
Well, go look for it somewhere else.
We were helping a man called Marquez in Paris.
He is my father.
I could see where she inherited her temperament. Your father? Well, he's our friend.
Why should I believe you? Show me proof.
We tracked down his painting, La Maledictio. Look.
Where did you get this?
In London.
All right. You better come with me, but no funny business, okay?
You know, you sound just like my friend Nico. Nico!
What's going on, Ramon? Who's out there?
Some crazy American. Don't worry. Eva will deal with him.
Papa. These people want to talk to you.
Eva, I thought we agreed to shoot intruders on sight. You, how did you find me?
It wasn't easy, senor.
We thought you were dead.
You were wrong.
They've brought you something, Papa.
Can it be? At last, La Maledictio.
Well, Senor Marquez, looks like La Maledictio hangs in its right place again.
Indeed. I have waited all my life for this.
But something interesting?
The painting. It is different. The face in the middle.
The one with the symbol of the Tabula Veritatis on it?
How do you know about the tabula?
A priest told me. Said it was the devil's work.
Pah! Priests. Full of lies, every one of them.
Oh, really? Well, this priest said that the tabula was an instrument to raise the devil.
Fool. Who would want to raise the devil?
But you do want to find the tabula.
Yes, because it is a Gnostic treasure. It is special, and my duty is to keep it safe.
I was sure that Marquez still wasn't telling me the whole truth. And now?
I shall decipher the painting and find the tabula. Before she died, my mother said that once the painting hung here again, its meaning would become clear, and the route to the tabula would be revealed.
So, what's the answer? Where's the tabula?
I don't know. The room has changed.
Was there something different about the room back then?
No. Yes. I don't know. You must help me.
Well, how? I'm not a Gnostic.
Senor, you must, because soon the Russian will be here.
He knows about Castel del SANTS?
I regret, Senor, that in Paris I told his sidekick a little too much.
Ah, well, I guess we'd better figure this out. And fast.
I'll go and keep watch.
Shoot on sight, remember.
Well, Nico, what now?
You try and work out just why the painting has to be in this room. I'll go and see if Eva knows anything.
Whether he knew it or not, I was sure Marquez had the answers. Senor Marquez?
Mr. Stobart?
If we're going to find the tabula,
Yes?
then you will have to help.
Of course.
I mean, by being totally honest with us.
Tch, when have I not been honest?
Tell me about the painting.
When I was a child, I would stand here for hours just staring at it. Who was the mysterious painter, El Serp, the Serpent? And what did it mean, La Maledicción, the curse? I asked my father, but he just told me to be patient. He said that one day I would know everything.
Senor, can you decipher any of the painting?
The Tower of Saints, of course. I knew it was a castell. And the saints themselves are Gnostic. You see the woman in red?
The one you marked in the photo?
She is Mary Magdalene. We revere her as Christ's greatest disciple. The rest, I don't know.
The symbol on the face, it is obviously the tabula.
But the elements around it, I don't know.
When were you last here, Senor?
Not since that day when my father was killed.
So why did the painting bring us here?
As I said, because only here in this room will its clues become clear.
Why is the Tabula Veritatis so important to the Gnostics?
It is an object of immense power. My ancestors kept it safe for hundreds of years. They brought it to Catalonia as exiles long ago. In any generation, only one Gnostic knows its exact location. My father, Xavier, was the last of these. He knew dark forces were gathering, but I was too young to learn the secret. So he commissioned La Maledicción, embedding clues to the location of the tabula within the painting.
But what is the tabula? What does it do?
I do not know. I know only that in the wrong hands, it would be catastrophic for mankind.
What happened back in Paris? We thought you were dead.
A man came to the apartment looking for Miss Collard. He mentioned a stolen painting owned by a Russian. Obviously, I informed him that I was the true owner.
Obviously.
Next thing I knew, this thug had me pinned to a chair and was threatening to shoot me. So I told him of the Castell, and while he telephoned his boss, I hit him with the little China dog.
Guess he didn't know you were the pugnacious type. So, Eva is your daughter?
She was a gift from God, late in my life. One day she will find room for Gnosticism in her heart. I am sure of it.
Why would a Dominican priest, Father Simeon, describe the Gnostics as evil?
That order was founded specifically to fight heresy and to eradicate Gnosticism. Behind their backs, the Dominicans were nicknamed the Dominicanes, or Hounds of God. For years, these dogs hunted down and butchered my people. They called us heretics, but in truth, they sought to find and seize the tabula.
I think this is yours.
My medallion? Where did you find it?
It was left in Nico's neighbor's apartment. Do you want it back?
No, you keep it for now. It has a meaning, a purpose. Perhaps you can find out what.
Sure. Just let me know if you ever want it back.
You shall get back to it.
The photo was of the Marquez family. The medallion Marquez's father wore looked identical to the one I found in Paris. It was strange that Marquez didn't want it back. It was Marquez's mother. The young Marquez had no idea of the fate that was soon to befall his family. On the fireplace behind them were two identical statues. On the fireplace behind them were two identical statues. Finally, La Maledicción was back in its rightful place. The carved figure was like the bearded man in the painting. It also reminded me of the figures from the illustration in Simeon's notes. The carved figure resembled the young man in the painting. It also matched the pose of the figures in Simeon's picture. The carved trees bore a remarkable resemblance to the ones in Simeon's notes. The carved trees bore a remarkable resemblance to the ones in Simeon's notes. The stone fireplace was old and dusty. It looked like it had lain undisturbed for decades. Marquez said that the painting contained clues only a Gnostic could solve. But when it was back in this room, all would become clear. The plinths looked like they could be rotated. The plinths looked like they could be rotated. The painting held all the answers. The Tower of Saints had led us to the CASTELL. I wondered where the other clues would take us. It was a tower of tormented souls. They looked like the damned. It was a castle of saints, Castell de SANTS, in Catalonian. The priest appeared to have a padlock through his mouth. He was pointing down to the ring below him. There was a tower within the ring. Maybe it indicated a place? It was the figure of a priest, but with a dog's head. The figure was pointing up at a ring above him. Inside the ring was what looked like an affluent town. A scarred face stared back at me from within the Ouroboros. A symbol was cut into the man's forehead. Simeon had claimed that it was the sign of the Tabula Veritatis. Within the ring, there were a number of houses. It was a village or a small town. Inside the ring was a castle gate. I had no idea what it signified. The bearded figure was similar to the one on the fireplace in the hall. I wondered if there was a connection. The orb in the old man's hand glowed with a green light. The figure of the young man was just like the one on the front of the fireplace. It couldn't be a coincidence. The youthful figure held a glowing blue orb in his hand. Senor Marquez? So this is you with your mother and father?
Indeed, taken in this very building many years ago.
Anything else about the painting I should know?
I keep telling you, I don't know.
Do you think the Tabula Veritatis was hidden here?
Perhaps. Who knows?
Nico and I are risking our lives for you. You really can't tell us any more?
Truly, I do not know.
So, you're the good guys?
Good and evil are meaningless terms. We strive simply to maintain balance and keep the tabula from those who seek to exploit it for their own ends.
Eva isn't a Gnostic?
As a child, she was shown the truth that is Gnosticism, but she has not chosen its path.
Are you sure you don't want your medallion back?
I am sure. I know you will find a use for it.
Is this one of Nico's photographs of the robbery?
Yes, she gave it to me.
And did you write these notes on it?
Yes, I was trying to solve part of the painting.
Solve?
I never knew what lay in that portion of La Malediccio. The photograph you have of my family, this part of the painting was missing. But once I saw the Tower of Saints, I knew I had to come here. Just as you did, Senor.
I found Medovsky's provenance for La Malediccio.
It is a fake. The painting belongs to my family, Senor.
Yeah, we worked that out. Father Simeon, the Dominican priest, was carrying these papers when he was killed.
So?
You're not interested in him?
I have no interest in priests or their papers, Senor.
Take a look at this sketch.
It is the face in La Malediccio.
It was drawn by the man who restored the painting.
Then he knew of the Tabula Veritatis. What other secrets did he uncover?
I don't know, but he's dead now.
Just as well. The fewer that know the secrets of La Malediccio, the better. We must find the answer.
It was a shield on which heraldic symbols had been painted. The scroll below the shield read Lorette de Mar. The scroll under the shield read Roses. The scroll beneath the shield read Bascara. The scroll below the shield read Berga. The scroll under the shield read Olot. The scroll beneath the shield read Figueres. The scroll below the shield read Trent. The scroll under the shield read El Pont de Suert. The bookcase held an assortment of ancient books. It was a collection of what could only be described as stuff. The bookcase held an assortment of ancient books. The scroll beneath the shield read Puigcerdà. The scroll below the shield read Girona. Ramon, gun in hand, was peering through the old window. Excuse me? I'll leave you to it then. Ramon sure was a little light in the charm department. The green stone figure was barefoot and wearing a hat. There was a piece of stone on the ground. It looked like a discarded statue. The door led out to the cloisters. It looked like this part of the castell had taken some damage. The end of the passage was blocked off with rubble. There were spent bullet casings lying amongst the rubble. What exactly happened here? Large double doors blocked the way. The door was locked. It was the lower half of a green, barefooted statue.
So, until you came here, you knew nothing about the Castell?
Didn't know, wasn't interested. I better get back on guard in case anyone else shows up.
Your father needs our help, Eva.
My father needs rest, peace and quiet. Not more of this Gnostic nonsense.
So, what did you find out?
Not a lot. Eva thinks her father's losing it. She doesn't have much time for Gnosticism. She's never been here before. In fact, Marquez never even talked about the place. As far as I can tell, she and her father never got on. She left home the moment she could.
I don't blame her. So why is she here now?
Marquez begged her, said he was in danger. I guess maybe I'll go inside and have a look around too.
Tell me if you find anything. I'm not having much luck so far. The blue-colored statue was robed with a bald head and bare feet. The blue statue was missing its head. Only his robes and sandaled feet remained. Eva looked like she meant business. Hello, Eva.
Senor Stobart.
Please, call me George.
I'd rather not. When are you and your girlfriend leaving?
Actually, she's not my girlfriend.
I don't know what your scam is, senor. You may have fooled my father, but you don't fool me.
Well, I can sure see where you get your manners from. Tell me about your father.
When my mother died, he brought me up.
As a Gnostic?
He tried to teach me that stuff, said I had a religious vocation. Turns out I didn't. On my 18th birthday, I left home and never went back.
Tell me about Ramon.
Apparently he worked here when he was a boy. A loyal servant, even though the family left and never came back. More fool him.
He's got an interesting line in burps.
You should feel privileged.
Really?
It means he likes you.
Tell me about yourself.
I left home as soon as I could, lived a bit, and now I own a bar in Marseille.
That explains why you know how to use a gun.
No, senor. I learned how to use a gun so I could get rid of vermin.
Eva was a real charmer. What do you know about La Malédiction?
My father has been obsessed by it all his life. He thinks it's full of secret messages. I think it's a crock of
Sure you do. Nico tells me you don't really know about Gnosticism.
Don't know, don't care. And I don't need saints and gods telling me how to live my life.
I can see why you and your father don't get along. So, you don't know anything about Gnostics?
They're a religious sect. They belong in the past. My father's obsessed with them, and that's all I know.
Have you seen Medovsky's provenance for the painting?
I plan to shoot this Medovsky on sight. I don't need his paperwork.
Do these notes mean anything to you?
Some old religious texts. So what?
What do you make of this?
They're sketches of my father's painting.
The artist paid for the knowledge with his life.
Figures. That painting brings bad luck to everyone who gets near it.
This is your family, right?
Looks like it.
Do you recognize this?
It's my father's medallion. He said he lost it.
Yeah, he left it in Paris. Do you know anything about it?
When I was a kid, he never let it out of his sight.
Your father scribbled some notes on this photograph.
So, we have the painting. What do you need a bad photograph for?
Do you know anything about this statue?
I've seen a few of them lying around. I guess the fascists smashed them up in the war.
Any more thoughts on the statues?
They're just old stones.
Here, these are for you.
I hate flowers.
I should have guessed that. La Maledizio, back in its rightful place. But what were the clues? The painting held all the answers. I wondered if the notes could help decrypt La Malediccio. The first passage read, "And thus spoke the accused. In this ritual we find succor. Clad in blue, the perfecti take the form of the spiritual and look towards the rising sun, toward the tree of knowledge. Clad in green, the credentes look the other way, towards the setting sun, where stands the tree of life." I wondered what it all meant. It was an old, weathered sundial. From the dial, I could see that the main doors of the house faced north. La Maledizio, back in its rightful place. But what were the clues? If I looked hard enough, I'd find the answers I needed. The bearded figure was similar to the one on the fireplace in the hall. The orb in the old man's hand glowed with a green light. The figure of the young man was just like the one on the front of the fireplace. The youthful figure held a glowing blue orb in his hand. The statues were facing outward, just like in the Marquez photo. I waited with bated breath for something to happen. Nothing.
What is this? A staircase. I never knew. We must go up. We don't have much time. Stairs. Always stairs.
Oh my God, look at this.
Georges! What's this? A piece of burnt paper with the word Wolfram. That sounds familiar.
Wolfram. I curse that name forever.
What do you know about Wolfram, Senor?
Wolfram. I spit on the name.
So you have lived here for a long time?
All my life. My father served here before me. In fact, he named me after Senor Xavier's favorite saint, Saint Ramon, patron saint of the falsely accused.
That's nice.
Not really. The Moors put a padlock through his mouth.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. What is Wolfram?
It was a mining company, run by a murdering swine called GEHNEN. In the Civil War, they backed the fascists. In return, GEHNEN was given soldiers to do his dirty work. They came here, brought their bloody war to this house, and killed Senor Xavier.
They shot Xavier? Senor Marques's father?
I was just a boy, but I remember like it was yesterday. Shot him and his friend Hernandez, like animals.
Why did they come here?
They were searching for something, but they brought death with them. But there is one thing I have never understood. Xavier tried to escape through the library. But the library windows are barred. It is a dead end.
This GEHNEN, who was he?
He was Swiss, a businessman, and a murdering swine.
So what did he want here?
I don't know. When he wasn't torturing the locals, he disappeared to the library. Spent weeks in there, making notes and studying maps. His men, they crossed the whole of Catalonia searching for something.
Did they find it?
Who knows? One day, GEHNEN just disappeared. He never came back. An accident, perhaps, in the mountains. May his soul rot in hell. The soldiers didn't stay long to search for him. They hated him too.
The name GEHNEN was familiar. He was the person who had tried to buy La Maledicción. A coincidence? Perhaps.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
So, when the soldiers left, you took back the house?
Yes. A few years later I returned and cleaned the place up. It broke my heart. I locked the library. I could not bear to touch GEHNEN'S papers.
Can I have a look at the library?
No. I have kept it locked to honor the memory of Senor Xavier.
Please, this is important.
I lost the key.
You lost it?
That evening when I locked it up, I drank to the memory of Senor Xavier. The cellars were well stocked, Senora. It was a long night. I hid the key, then forgot where I hid it, so it is lost. That was all that was left in the morning. I haven't touched a drop since.
I needed to find out what GEHNEN had been working on in that library. There was a crate of brandy amongst the mess in the great hall. Apparently Ramon drank them all. Must have been some night. Hello, little one. A heap of old brandy bottles. Ramon must have been in a car on that night all those years ago. The dashboard seemed intact. But this old family car would never drive again. A 5T71. Extraordinary. An old pair of shoes. Another brandy bottle. Ramon really went for it that evening. In amongst the mess was an old book. I picked up what looked like an old diary. It was Ramon's. The library will forever be a shrine. No one will enter. I shall hide the key in a safe place. Once I've eaten. I have just what I need and know what to do. Oh, beautiful lady, your eyes are so blue. I just can't stop thinking of you. Ramon was quite the budding poet. Our lives are entwined like ivy on a tree. That is what you mean to me. Nice. Hey, I was reading that. The floor of the car was littered with keys from sardine cans. Tin can keys. Tin can keys. Have you no respect for great art? Pretty indigestible, huh? The wind chime looked like it was made from old cans. I wondered if it was Ramon's handiwork. One old sardine can was bulging slightly. I fished around. There was something in it. And there it was, the key to the library. I found your key.
I thought it was lost forever.
Do you want to be with me when I open the door?
No. Some things are better left in the past. And anyway, I must look out for Eva.
Do you know Eva well?
No, I only just met her. Senor Marquez brought her with him. They don't talk much, but she knows how to handle a gun.
The internal courtyard had been beautiful once. Even overgrown like this, it had a serenity. An intricate mosaic adorned the floor. The plants at least were thriving in the rubble. Ramon had been true to his word. This place was like a shrine. The old armor was in pride of place. GEHNEN'S clearly hadn't moved it. The tapestry had been flung to one side. Ramon was right. The window was barred. I wondered why Xavier Marquez had tried to escape through the library. The trunk contained someone's personal possessions. At a guess, GEHNEN'S. I wondered what secrets they might hold. A pair of well-worn boots. A couple of old faded shirts, neatly folded. The hat looked battered and old. I wondered if it had belonged to the mysterious GEHNEN'S. The map had interesting markings and scribbles all over it. Georges would be so jealous.
So, what is this place, Senor?
It is my family's chapel.
It's not like any chapel I ever saw. Where's the altar, the crucifix, the Christian symbols? And this fresco, what's that?
How extraordinary. It tells a story. It depicts the journey of my ancestors, the Cathars, and their escape from the hilltop fortress of Montserrat with the Tabula Veritatis, from under the very noses of the soldiers of the Albigensian Crusade.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who are the Cathars? And what have they got to do with the Tabula?
The Cathars were Gnostics. They lived in the south of France in the 12th century, at peace with the Jews and the Catholics of the Languedoc. They preached that men and women are equal, that God is within you, and that the Church is an obstacle to salvation. The Pope found their core beliefs abhorrent. The Cathars accused him and his Church of corruption. He condemned them as heretics. When the Pope learned that they were the guardians of the Tabula Veritatis, he conspired with the King of France and called for a holy war to wipe them out. The Albigensian Crusade was a callous, ruthless massacre. The final confrontation took place here at Montserrat in 1244. The Crusaders believed that they had slaughtered all the heretics, but a handful managed to escape with the tabula. They traveled south across the Pyrenees along secret trails. They brought the tabula here to Catalonia to be hidden once more. Sadly, it was not the end of their trials. The Spanish Inquisition saw to that. Nevertheless, for generations, my ancestors continued to guard the secret of the tabula. So, you understand why La Maledizione is important to me. It will lead us to the tabula again, so we can keep it safe from those who wish to abuse its power.
The painting brought us up here, Senor. We need to find out why. It was a large marble statue of an old man with a beard. The statue held aloft a colored glass lens. These statues...
What of them?
They're just like the figures in the painting, and on the fireplace.
Indeed, they are the two pillars of the Gnostic faith in harmony. And the bearded one is Yahweh, Jehovah, God of the physical world. The other is known by many names. Hillel, Ishtar. He is the bearer of light, Luxfere, Lucifer.
Lucifer? So you guys are devil worshippers?
No. When he is in balance with Jehovah, Lucifer is the god of desire and ambition, driving humans to be inquisitive, to discover, to advance. Just as Jehovah, when he is in balance with Lucifer, is the god of order. Jehovah stands for selflessness and altruism. Gnostics worship the harmony of both gods in balance.
But what if one were to rule without the other?
If Jehovah ruled without Lucifer, then individuality would be surrendered. Mankind would be wholly conformist, mindlessly dependent, mere pawns of a controlling power.
And what if Lucifer ruled without Jehovah?
Ambition and desire would be transformed into unbridled greed, and man would lust only for wealth and power. Society would descend into chaos. Disorder and war would prevail. Then Lucifer would be the devil indeed.
Marquez had told me that this was a statue of Lucifer. It was a candelabrum holding a single candle. The fresco deserved a proper examination. The fresco was surrounded by dusty inscriptions. My Latin was a little rusty, but I could still translate. Ex igne puritas, from fire, purity. Ex luce veritas, from light, truth. Ex labore sapientia, from struggle, knowledge. A town of northern Catalonia. 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 Cathars fleeing across the Pyrenees to escape the slaughter of the Albigensian Crusade. They seemed to be carrying something. A town of northern Catalonia. Cathars being burned at the stake. The mountain fortress of Montserrat burning after its capture by the Crusaders. Knights of the Albigensian Crusade. Cathars fleeing across the Pyrenees to escape the slaughter of the Albigensian Crusade. They seemed to be carrying something. A town of northern Catalonia. Knights of the Albigensian Crusade. Senor Marquez?
Yes?
Why was this room so well hidden?
After Montserrat, my ancestors were very careful about announcing their presence. Even I, as a boy, knew nothing of this place.
This fresco means something. I know it.
It is not just a historical record. There is a mystery locked in here. All those figures crossing the Pyrenees, one of them has to be carrying the real Tabula Veritatis. But which one?
So, Jehovah, he's God, isn't he?
He is the central figure in Abrahamic religions, but he represents just one aspect of our Gnostic beliefs, the physical world.
So this statue is Satan.
Not Satan, Lucifer.
Okay, so not evil?
The Church demonized Lucifer to suit their own ends. He represents the spiritual and intellectual elements of the world. Good and evil are simply products of the human condition.
You talk about balance. What does that mean?
Harmony comes from the balance of Jehovah, who offers order, and Lucifer, who brings ambition. Only under their dual influence will man become enlightened, see the light.
So you say the Cathars are Gnostics?
The Cathars were a medieval religious movement based on Gnosticism. Nowadays, we simply call ourselves Gnostics.
So the tabula is the key to the power of God?
Yes, it is an object of tremendous power.
Wow, this Alba Jensen crusade sure must have been a bloody affair.
Few were spared. But it was only one episode in 2 millennia of persecution.
What's the deal with these lenses that the statues are carrying?
Clearly, they change the color of light that is reflected onto the fresco.
But why? And why the different colors? Does all that colored light falling on the fresco mean anything?
I don't know, Senor. That is why I need you to help me.
The second passage read, "And all shall know that the light of knowledge is blue, and that the light of life is green. For thus was the light of Eden, both blue and green, intertwined with the light of man to become pure." Knowledge is blue and life is green. Well, that was good to know. I wondered what color was the light of man. It was a glass wheel divided into 6 colors, and it looked like it could be rotated. Part of the lens was covered. I removed the small leather cover to reveal a crude crystal lens. Colored light streamed through and shone onto the fresco. The color changed from yellow to green. It was a glass wheel, just like the one held by the other statue. Part of the lens was covered. The color changed from yellow to green. The color changed from green to turquoise. The color changed from turquoise to blue. It was a candelabrum holding a single candle. Just what this place needed. Bit of mood lighting. If only I had a few scatter cushions.
Amazing. The light is showing the path of the bonhomme.
The what?
The sacred trail my ancestors took across the Pyrenees, carrying the Tabula Veritatis, from Montségur across the mountains to this town.
And which town is that?
I don't know. That I cannot answer. But its coat of arms is quite distinctive.
But how does it bring us closer to the tabula?
It tells us the route the tabula took 800 years ago.
I think that's all we're going to find up here.
You're right. We should return to the hall. Eva will be getting worried.
Okay, we found the route of the bonhomme trail. How does it help us?
It must somehow relate to the painting.
Papa, are you crazy? What are you doing?
I'm fine. Don't fuss.
You got me out here to look after you, so let me do it. Ramon is outside keeping watch.
Georges, I'm glad you're safe. What did you find?
There's a secret chapel above the fireplace. But it's not your average everyday chapel. It's a Gnostic chapel. All laid out for worshipping not one god, but two.
What?
I'll tell you when we have more time.
You know, I found some things too, which might connect with all that. Come to the library. Oh, could you bring the painting? I think we're going to need it.
The coat of arms was exactly the same as the one depicted on the fresco. It read Berga.
What are you doing with La Maledizio?
Nico found something and asked me to bring the painting. I promised to take care of it.
Eva, go with him. Make sure the painting comes to no harm.
I should stay with you, Papa.
Don't worry about me. La Maledizio is more important.
Have you brought the painting?
Sure, why do you want it?
Because I found out what GEHNEN was up to.
The GEHNEN who tried to buy the painting from Madovsky?
No, GEHNEN who led the fascists here during the Civil War. GEHNEN who then spent months here searching for something. And who vanished one day, leaving that trunk full of goodies over there.
You think he's connected to the GEHNEN who wrote the letter to Madovsky?
It seems likely that they were related.
Maybe. So what's the plan you've uncovered?
Take a look at this. It's GEHNEN'S map. He was searching for something.
Searching for what exactly?
The Tabula Veritatis, I guess.
You think he found it?
I doubt it. If he had, then people wouldn't still be chasing after the painting.
So why did you want me to bring it?
See this scribble in the sea?
It's the same shape as the circles around the Ouroboros.
Yes. GEHNEN thought that pattern in the painting had something to do with a map of Catalonia.
So, I guess we try to finish what GEHNEN started.
I'd put money on those circles around the Ouroboros being places in Catalonia.
But which places?
Maybe the painting can give us some more clues. I had no desire to take the old boots. I removed the oilcloth from the chest. I picked up the blanket. There was nothing underneath it. I lifted the hat out of the chest. There was something tucked beneath the shirt. I picked up the folded note. It was a telegram. I put everything back in the chest. I deciphered the telegram. The Tabula Veritatis was smuggled out of Montségur to Catalonia by a group of CATHAR survivors. I have confirmed this from confessions extracted by the Dominican Inquisitor Emmerich of Girona. It was signed Wolfram. There was a tower within the ring. Inside the ring was what looked like an affluent town. The town of Berga was depicted in this ring. The ring depicted some kind of castle gate. Positioned in the light cast by Lucifer and Jehovah, it had to connect to the trail of the Bon Homme. The map had to be the key. This was one of the locations highlighted on the fresco.
And this was the starting point of the journey of the bon homme, the good men, the CATHARs, right?
So, the coat of arms on the fresco pointed us towards Berga.
Then it must be important.
2 locations down. If the vignettes on the painting were anything to go by, I needed to find 2 more. The Dominican monk Emmerich was from Girona, the dog-headed priest on the painting. I'd found 3 locations. Now I had to track down the last one. The pattern looked similar to the layout of the orbs on the painting. GEHNEN must have figured out that the orbs referred to various locations in Catalonia. The village of San Ramon.
Saint Ramon. Ramon told me he was named after a Saint Ramon.
There's also a saint on the painting.
Let me guess, he has a hefty padlock through his lips?
I could see a pattern emerging. The locations had formed an odd cross shape, similar to the layout of the orbs depicted on the painting. This is the center point of the cross, so the tabula must be here. Montserrat. It has to be Montserrat. The question is, what's Montserrat?
It's a monastery in the mountains, quite a tourist spot. But there's something else. I think it used to be a Gnostic refuge, hundreds of years ago.
Bravo, my friend.
Dovsky?
No, Langham.
No, it's GEHNEN, isn't it?
Very good, Miss Collard.
So, what happened to the real Langham?
He went for a long swim in the Seine. Now, I was expecting to have to rip this place apart and retrace my grandfather's steps, but I do believe you have saved me quite a lot of work. The tabula is at Montserrat. Who would have thought it? The old man will be coming with me.
No, please, take me instead. He doesn't know anything.
And you do? I think not.
But he is old.
Eva, hold your peace, child.
You can't do this.
Oh, but I can. I will. Man is weak, servile, controlled. He must be freed. Freed from all constraints. Free to fulfill his desires.
And you plan to raise the devil to achieve that?
Not the devil. Lucifer. Now, if you don't mind, we have a long journey ahead of us. Come on. They can rot in there.
We have to get out of here now. I assume that lunatic is as dangerous as he looks.
I'm afraid so, Eva. I think he's killed before.
You know, Nico, we were chasing Medovsky, but all along, we were really up against GEHNEN'S grandson. The door was locked. Look, daylight.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's a false door, Nico.
So that's why Marquez's father tried to escape through here. He didn't have time to open the false door. Great work, George. Come on, Eva, let's go.
We need to rescue your father and stop Langham before he gets the tabula. Eva, I think you'd better stay here.
Are you kidding? You'll need me, especially if there's a fight.
Eva, it'll be very dangerous.
Signora, you do not understand. It is my duty.
Okay. We'd better check up on Ramon first.
Sure. Then we will go and kick some ass.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Montserrat was way up in the mountains, a major tourist destination. But we went there as tourists. We had an old man to rescue and an ancient tablet to find. And standing in our way was a cold-blooded killer. Why would the tabula be hidden up here of all places?
For hundreds of years, the mountain has been kind of a sanctuary. There's an old Benedictine monastery up the hill.
Well, I guess that's where we need to start looking.
Wow, it's empty. Where is everyone?
This place is normally full of tourists.
I don't like the look of this one bit.
At least it's not monks with guns.
Don't even go there, Nico. Time to bring out the dumb tourist.
It's a role you were born to play, George.
It was a magnificent building. I wondered if the tabula was really hidden up there. He didn't look like he was there to help the tourists. The place is deserted. What happened to all the tourists?
There's something funny going on.
Howdy, fella. Sorry, pal. Monastery's closed. Till further notice.
Oh, gee, well, ain't that just my luck?
Yeah, ain't it?
And my two pretty sisters here are so looking forward to seeing the monastery.
Life's full of disappointments.
Sure seems that way. And the monastery's definitely up there, huh?
It is, but it'll still be there tomorrow.
Oh, we fly back to Austin tonight.
Well, isn't that a shame?
So why's the place closed?
VIP visitors.
Wow, that's exciting. Which VIPs?
A foreign prince.
The Prince of where?
Yeah, that's the one.
Wow!
So we can't let normal folk in.
Oh, of course not. No, not if the Prince of where is there. Hi there, buddy.
Sorry, we got a virus loose. Whole place is locked down.
A virus? Oh, my God. Ain't nothing worse than a VIP with a virus.
I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here.
Howdy. Is this the way up to the monastery?
Yeah, but it's shut. No one allowed in. The monks, they're on strike.
Wow. What happened? Someone make 'em work ungodly hours?
Nah, I don't think that was the problem.
But why was the prince allowed in then?
I don't know. Stop asking me questions.
I seriously doubt those guards belong here.
I know.
You want to try turning on the charm?
I'll try.
What is she doing?
Nico usually gets what she wants. If anyone can charm those guys, it's her. What did he say?
He suggested I do something. I told him it was anatomically impossible.
I'm sure they're GEHNEN'S men.
I agree.
I can't get my head around him being a GEHNEN. I'm gonna stick with Langham.
Good idea, George.
We need to find another way then. Let me have a look around. There was no point leaving until we had what we came for. Nice lamppost. Looking at that fence, I'd guess they had dog issues around here. A bench with a view. I guess normally tourists would be fighting over that seat. We're moving away from the monastery.
Yes, but with those goons in the way, we have to find a different approach.
Maybe there's some other way around, via the cable car station?
Or at least someone in there can tell us what's going on.
The tracks for the train ran below. The building looked very new. It must have been modernized recently.
Someone's coming out. Quick, we need to hide. I think it's Langham.
Block everything off. Lock the whole place down, understand? The tabula's got to be up in the monastery. I'm sure of it. Come on.
Yes, boss.
Close all the routes up to the monastery, and then make the old man talk.
Yes, boss.
This time, don't be so gentle with him.
Did you hear that? They haven't found it yet, but Senor Marquez must be in a bad way.
Listen, I have to follow those bastardos. I might be able to slip through on my own.
Sure. We'll see if we can find another way up. You think she'll be okay?
Eva can handle herself.
It was locked. There was a keypad, but I didn't know the code. Glass canopies sparkled in the sun. Would have been a pain to clean those. A thick cable suspended the cable cars over the canyon. The cable car hung midway across the valley. It wasn't moving. Something inside the cable car was glinting. I couldn't make out what it was. Where do you think we should go?
I think we might get some answers inside the cable car station.
But the door's locked.
Then we'd better find a way to unlock it.
It was one of those tourist telescopes that usually charge a fortune. My God! Nico!
What is it?
This telescope! It's free!
It was the other station for the cable cars. There was a small chapel perched on the edge of the cliff. It looked ancient. Wait, what's that? That rock looks familiar. Nico, take a look at this and tell me what you see.
You're right. That rock looks like a head.
I've seen that shape before. Take a look at this. The face in the Ouroboros. It's exactly the same shape as that rock.
That can't be a coincidence.
And you know what? Langham's got the forged picture, the one without the face.
So the rock won't have meant anything to him.
Nico, I don't think the tabula's up at the monastery. I think it's down there somewhere, around that rock. There were a couple of people stuck in the cable car. They looked kind of familiar. Then I realized it was my old friends Dwayne and Pearl Henderson. The Hendersons had an uncanny way of showing up wherever I went. I signaled back to Pearl. I couldn't make out if there was any response. Pearl seemed to be writing something on the window. It said, "Help, stuck. Door code 0797. I wondered how Pearl came to know that. Come on, Nico. Pearl's giving me the code to the door.
What? Pearl? Who? How?
Trust me, Nico. I've got friends in low-hanging places. Huh. There's no one here.
Looks like everything has been shut down.
Help!
The huge cogs were part of the cable car mechanism. They looked very powerful. The cable cars were scheduled to run all day. The wheels were part of the cable car mechanism. The cables were suspended in a huge contraption that ran the cable cars up and down. There was a metal box on the floor. A metal lunchbox. Someone sure wanted to keep their cheese safe.
Hey, is anybody there?
Whoa! Did you hear that?
We're stuck in here. Help!
How about that, Nico? A talking lunchbox. Huh, what will they think of next? I'd better take it with me. Looked like a small closet. There was no lock, but the door wouldn't open.
Go away!
Hello?
George? There's someone in there.
Are you all right in there?
Just go away.
There was a large console in the corner. I guessed it operated the cable cars. The control panel looked complicated. It wasn't powered up, and the smell of burnt electrical components hung ominously in the air. There was a big lever on the console. Intriguing. I've always loved levers. The cogs turned, but the rest of the mechanism didn't seem to be engaging. The console had a hatch, for repairs, I guessed. The console circuitry looked pretty complex and dangerous. The box was now wedged in the cogs, or rather, the giant can opener.
That's quite a mess you've made there, Georges.
You know what they say about making omelets, Nico?
You can't make them without strawberry jam?
Just as I thought, it's a two-way radio.
Can anyone hear me?
Dwayne, this is George. George Stobart.
Holy cow, George, just the fella I need. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Dwayne, and don't you worry, I'll have you out of there in a minute.
You reckon you can get the cable car running again?
No, the console isn't working properly. I've got no idea why not.
George, this is Pearl. Get Kat to help you. She knows everything about that place.
Kat? Is she the girl in the closet?
Has she locked herself in? Oh, dear. Let me talk to her, darling.
Kat? Wait, please. We mean you no harm. Please, come out.
I'm staying right here until I know it's safe.
Kat, I found you a friendly voice.
How do you know my name?
Kat, dear, it's me, Pearl.
Pearl? How did you get here? That's not possible.
Listen, darling, it really is me, but I'm talking on the radio. George here is a very decent guy, and you should open the door.
I'm not going to fall for that. Prove it's you.
All right. Remember we discovered we both love musicals?
Yeah? And my favourite one is?
How does it go now? Help out. I am the very model of a modern major general.
Of information, vegetable, animal and mineral.
I know the kings of England and I quote the fights historical.
From Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very good in integral and differential calculus.
I know the scientific names of beings and homunculus.
In short, it matters vegetable, animal and mineral.
I am the very model of a modern major general.
right. Only Pearl would know that, and I trust her. Who are you?
I'm George, and this is Nico. How did you end up in a closet?
There were some guys with guns. They took over the whole station. I hid in here.
We're trying to avoid them too.
I was quite surprised, you know. They never mentioned guns at the job interview.
Really? We need to use the cable car. Can you operate it?
Yeah, if the console was working, but they sabotaged it.
And there's no way to get it started?
There might be. Let me see. See that burned out fuse down there?
In the back by the prongs?
Yeah. The idiots stuck a spanner in there and blew the fuse. They wanted to make sure no one could use the cable cars. Connect those two prongs somehow, and the console should restart.
How on earth are we going to reach that?
I don't know. But don't stick your arm in there. You'll get fried.
Strawberry jam was smeared all over the machinery. Well, I'd done stranger things in my life. The paperclip was now all sticky. I needed to electrically connect the two prongs to hotwire the console. I needed to avoid touching anything that could give me a shock. I needed to avoid touching anything that could give me a shock. I stuck the paperclip to Trevor's back. I bet he could work in an office now. Time for Trevor. I put his matchbox down. Go, Trevor, go! Poor Trevor looked like he needed therapy, but the console was working. The console, it's working.
Cool. I can send you down there if you want. Let me just bring the cable car up here.
Pearl and Dwayne are going to be mighty relieved.
Oh, they must have been going down in the other cable car.
Come on, Nico. There's no time to lose. As we got closer to the face in the rock, I knew for sure that we were on the right track. It was definitely the same as the face in the painting, but with one difference. The symbol of the tabula was missing from the rock formation. Well, here we are.
But no way to reach the face. Let's have a look around. There must be a way up. The chapel looked like it was open. Have you spotted a route yet?
No, it looks like a pretty treacherous climb.
I'll keep looking. There must be another way. Georges, the chapel looks like it's been built right into the rock.
You're right. We should take a look inside.
I wonder, how old do you think the chapel is?
I'm guessing the exterior's a couple of 100 years old, but the inside, who knows?
Some parts could be much older.
You think somehow this chapel might be connected to the face in the rock?
At a guess, I would say so. Hey, look, it's Pearl and Dwayne.
Come on, honey bun. Things ain't that bad.
You just don't understand. Today's been a disaster.
But
the monastery was closed. We got stuck in the cable car. And now this place is a building site.
Aw, sweetie pie.
This was supposed to be the spiritual highlight of our trip, Dwayne. But the only spirit I see is that rotten turpentine over there.
Aw, heck.
Clearly, the Hendersons weren't having a great vacation. Great to see you again, Mr. Henderson.
Great to see you too, George. Great work back there with the cable car.
Is Pearl okay?
I wish. I'm afraid we're having one of those days where everything goes wrong.
Tell me about it. What have you been up to since we last met in Quaramonte?
Well, there was that little sideshow in Rome, but we can't talk about that. You know why, George.
I do? I do.
Why?
Top secret.
Need to know, Nico. Dwayne is, snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No way, honey. A snoozer's at least 2 pay grades up from a sleeper. So I hear. Anyway, I don't believe I've had the pleasure, Miss,
Nicole Collar. Call me Nico.
Well, how's about that? So this is the beautiful Nico. No wonder you've been hiding her away from me, Georgie boy.
Gosh, no,
It's lovely to finally meet you too, Mr. Henderson. George has told me so much about you.
Oh, call me Dwayne, my dear. And let me assure you of one thing. Everything you've heard is quite possibly true.
Dwayne was loud, large, and short-sighted, but boy, was he a charmer. Is there anything we can do for Pearl?
I sure as hell hope so, George. She's been planning and researching this trip for years, our little pilgrimage. And Santa Cova Chapel here was the cherry on the cake. Not a thing she don't know about this place. Madonna, blah, blah, blah. Chapel built in, yada, yada, yada. She's Santa Cova's very own walking encyclopedia. Well, weeping encyclopedia, I should say.
So what brings you to Santa Cova?
Pearl's idea from the get-go. Ever since the unfortunate car accident back home, she's been scouring those pilgrimage brochures. Gotta be full of wonder and life-changing imagery. Got to have penance potential. Got to offer a real spiritual experience.
Well, I'm sure this place will be very spiritual once it's finished.
If the chapel is not what she expected, how about the monastery?
Hot dog, no. That place is for tourists, not pilgrims.
You said she expected a spiritual experience?
Well, that's what the brochure promised. Pilgrimages, little monk fellas, singing, shafts of light, the whole shebang.
Smells, bells, and heavenly lights.
Yeah, that's what the lady wanted. Oh, excuse me. Pearl needs me. There, dear.
Pearl could be a mine of information about the chapel, if we could just cheer her up. Hey, Nico. So what did you mean by smells, bells, and heavenly lights?
I'm talking about the authentic church experience.
Oh, I see. Smells, bells, and heavenly lights. Any idea how old the chapel is?
That's what I asked you.
So we basically don't know anything.
That's the long and short of it, George.
Poor Pearl.
She's in quite a state. If we're going to find the tabula, her knowledge is key.
So, all our hopes are pinned on an American tourist.
I pin my hopes on an American tourist all the time.
Got any ideas for smells?
Have you found any incense? Church smells don't get much more authentic than incense.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hey, George.
How you holding up?
Me? Oh, I'm fine. Pearl, on the other hand.
How's Pearl doing?
She's pretty upset, George.
Well, maybe she just needs a hug.
Is that the best you got? The last time she was in a mood like this, I tried the old hug routine.
Didn't go well?
I still have the scars, not just the mental ones.
What can you tell me about Santa Cova?
Well, Pearl's the expert, not me. She knows everything there is to know about this chapel.
Did you see the Black Madonna?
Oh, you betcha. She's the little lady we came to see, though Pearl's in too much of a state to even look at her.
Hey, that tune you were whistling earlier, it sounded familiar.
Oh, it's Schubert's Ave Maria. In our courting days, me and Pearl used to hang out with the Campanology Society. It was Pearl's favorite. Oh, excuse me. Pearl needs me. There, dear.
Hey, Nico. What do you think of this place?
If I were an estate agent, I'd say...
It's got potential?
Right.
Poor Pearl.
To find the chapel in this state, especially after so much research.
Hey, do you think she might know what the rock face means?
Maybe, but we're not going to get anything out of her in this state.
Any suggestions for bells?
I'm stuck on that one too. But did you notice Dwayne is whistling something to Pearl?
Is that Ave Maria?
Yes, that's it.
Why don't you sing it, Nico?
Over my dead body.
It was a stone carving showing a kneeling figure. It was an old crank handle. They smelt exotic. My mother always said cleanliness is next to godliness. It was a handful of aromatic sandalwood shavings. I sprayed the shavings with Brett. Delightful. Potpourri, handmade, Grandma's favorite. A statue of the Madonna and Child watched over the chapel. An empty, coffee-stained mug had been left by the altar. I put the scented shavings in the mug. I lit the scented shavings. A sweet aroma started to fill the room. An old candelabra hung from the ceiling. The crank handle was connected to the candelabra. I lit the candles on the candelabra. I rested the side mirror precariously on the candelabra. I rested the side mirror precariously on the candelabra. I secured the mirror in place with some yarn. That should do the trick. Now that was something. The light from the candelabra spilled over the Black Madonna like waves of spiritual goodness in candle form. Hi, Dwayne.
Hey, George.
What were you whistling again?
Oh, it's Schubert's Ave Maria. Oh, excuse me. Pearl needs me. There, dear.
It was a selection of tools. It was rickety scaffolding cluttered with tools and supplies. The scaffolding was a little loose. Everything rattled. It made a surprisingly dulcet noise. The hammer produced a promising sound. That sounded like an A.
What are you up to?
Look, I made a Churchenspiel. B, if I wasn't mistaken. G. Wrong. Well, that was fun. It was a half-empty bottle of turpentine. Or, as I prefer to think of it, half full. I poured the turpentine into the paint can. The hammer produced a promising sound. Well, that was fun. The hammer produced a promising sound. An F sharp. G. B. A. G. I had it. It was the tune Dwayne was humming.
George, that's Ave Maria. Let me have a go.
Wow, you really nailed that, Nico.
Yep, this mop really is pretty special. Leave this to me.
Pumpkin? Oh my!
What?
The sound of angels, the lights of heaven, the smell of piety, and...
Yes?
the Madonna, I do believe. Tears. She's crying, Dwayne. The Madonna's crying. Son, little Timmy. Wrong side of the road. Not my fault. The broken leg. Compensation claim. Forgive me, poor Timmy.
Oh, Pearl, my precious, you're such a sensitive soul.
Well, now that's done. I feel my soul's floating on air. We can get on with our pilgrimage, Dwayne.
Just another 1,000 clicks to go.
Pearl was back to her usual cheery self. Mrs. Henderson.
George, dear boy.
How you feeling?
Oh, just fine, thank you. I have just seen a miracle, George. It's all gonna be all right from now.
I'm sure it is, Mrs. Henderson. I'm sure it is. So, Pearl, what have you been up to since we last met?
Well, George, I've been on a journey.
Oh, really? Well, what kind of journey?
A spiritual one. A journey along the road to enlightenment.
Wow. And is that what brought you here?
It is. Though Santa Cova is but one step on that road.
What's so special about Santa Cova?
It's an ancient and very holy place. I've spent the last year researching it, and I can truly say there is nothing I do not know about it.
I don't suppose you'd know anything about that rock out there?
No, only that for 1,000 years, people have claimed to see a face in its shapes.
Still, keeping busy, Dwayne?
Like the man said, George, that old kaleidoscope keeps getting shaken, and the pieces are ever in flux.
Guess it's your job to pick 'em up, huh?
Well, somebody has to do it, compadre.
I enjoyed talking to Dwayne, but I was rarely any the wiser afterwards. What can you tell me about the statue?
I read that the Black Madonna has been here since the 9th century. She's called the Virgin of Montserrat. Some say the original was moved to the cathedral. But Dwayne and I know that's just a bluff, don't we, honey?
We sure do. This one is the real McCoy.
What can you tell me about Santa Cova?
Well, dear, they call it the Chapel of the Holy Grotto. It was built directly into the mountain itself in 1696. It survived the Napoleonic Wars, mudslides, Civil War. But the chapel is still standing today. It's a miracle.
Or a restoration.
What was that, dear?
Yes, a miracle. Would you like these flowers, Pearl?
Were they intended for someone else, George?
Someone's bound to take them at some point, right?
You sure know how to make a girl feel special.
Hey, Dwayne, take a sniff of this.
That takes me back to my frat house days.
Take a look at these papers.
That document has the Vatican seal on it. Ooh, you better keep it safe, honey. I bet there's some people who would love to get their hands on it.
Oh, you have no idea. Dwayne, does this mean anything to you?
I don't know. Pearl?
Oh, nothing, dear. Apart from the obvious Gnostic connotations, of course.
What?
You know, the Dominicans. All those Gnostic saints. Doubting Thomas, Judas. And you see the woman in the red cloak? The infamous Mary Magdalene herself.
A lady in red.
That's enough now, Dwayne. You know my feelings about her.
Pearl knew her Gnostic onions, all right.
Then there's the Ouroboros, of course.
Something special about it?
Well, if I remember rightly, there was an Ouroboros right here in this chapel. Back in the 30s and 40s, the chapel was renovated. The workmen uncovered numerous symbols carved in the rock. Amongst them was a fine Ouroboros.
But that's amazing. So, where is it?
Oh, it's not there now.
Oh.
It was considered blasphemous, so they plastered over it. Sweetheart, I think it's time for us to go. The road to enlightenment waits for no woman.
'Tis the pilgrim's lot, George.
It was so nice to see you again. And meet your girlfriend.
We're not...
Take this radio, Nico. Never know when you might need it. Keep an eye on our boy George here.
Poor little lost lamb.
I'm not...
Don't worry, this little lamb's in safe hands. Bon voyage.
Bye-bye, dears.
See ya. Nico, don't even start.
Little lamb?
Let's focus on the task in hand, shall we? Okay, this Ouroboros that Pearl mentioned...
You're right. We need to find it.
Hey, Nico. Anything new on the chapel?
Not yet.
I found a statue over there. A black Madonna.
Great. What did you find out about it?
That's all I got.
Well, it's not a lot to go on.
Got any ideas?
Let's find the Ouroboros that Pearl mentioned.
What do you think of the incense?
Smells familiar?
Just like church?
Not quite, but it'll do.
How come your Ave Maria sounds so much better than mine?
Catholic upbringing.
How do you like my lights, Nico?
They look heavenly, George.
A modern plaster altar had been built against the rock. I hoped this was the right thing to do. Hey, Nico, I found the Ouroboros.
So what now?
Pearl was right. The plaster had covered an Ouroboros. The wall here was made of bare rock. It looked like the chapel had been built right into it. There was a recess in the wall with a Latin word carved above it. Puritas, purity. I'd seen that word before somewhere. What was that noise? I knew it. Another secret passageway.
Amazing, George. How did you do it?
Just another case of the old Stobart magic, I guess, Nico. It looks a little dark in there.
Are you scared, George?
Of course not. Just worried about you tripping, that's all. Whoa, this is one dark cave.
It's the door that worries me, George.
Well, I'm sure the door will open again if we give it a minute. No need to panic. Now we panic. Help! I gotta say, Nico, you're pretty calm about this.
Traveling with you, George, I've got used to this kind of thing. If I panicked every time a door shut behind us, probably forever, well...
You're right. What was I thinking? You see if you can get the door open, and I'll go check out the dark, evil-smelling cave. Fumbling around in the dark wasn't going to be fun. But heck, I'd spent a lifetime doing it, so what was new? It was a flat surface like stone. It was stone with a recess in it and, an oily liquid in it. There was some kind of thin twine in the middle of it, too. It was a small, round object made of fabric with a musty smell. I could feel something smooth and spherical with clumps of what felt like fur or hair. It was cold to the touch and felt like carved rock. The carved stone felt like the branches of a tree. It was a small stuffed animal of some kind, short-haired. I guessed it was a tailless squirrel, or perhaps a small badger. Hey, Nico, I think I found some light. Whoa!
It must be GEHNEN'S. Ramon said he disappeared while searching the mountains for the tabula.
So this is where he ended up, dead in a cave. Hole in the head dead. Decomposing for decades dead. And on closer inspection, I'd even say blown your own brains out dead.
Okay, George, I get the point. What is this place?
Who knows? But look at the Gnostic symbols.
You're right. The colors, the trees. But who is she?
It looks like the Virgin Mary, but I don't think it is.
What do you mean?
The red robes and that whole off-the-shoulder look? It must be Mary Magdalene, of course. Marquez told me that the Gnostics revered her. This place, it's some kind of Gnostic shrine.
There's got to be something to release that door. Maybe amongst these carvings.
But if it was that obvious, don't you think GEHNEN'S would have found it? pillar had been carved into the shape of a tree and painted green. I knew it represented the tree of life. The pillar had been sculpted into a tree and then painted blue. I knew it was supposed to be the tree of knowledge. There were ancient scratches on the plinth, as if someone had moved the statue. I'm sure that this is Mary Magdalene.
The red robes. It all makes sense. The Madonna would be wearing blue. So, who's the child?
Well, according to the Gnostic Gospels, when Mary kissed the lips of Jesus, she,
Oh, I see.
Yep,
So the Gnostics think that the suckling child is...
I guess so. The carved figure had once been green. I wondered if it was a representation of Jehovah. Blue paint was peeling from the carved figure. I wondered if it was an image of Lucifer. A large carving of the Tabula Veritatis symbol. All the other figures in the scene seemed to be supplicating themselves to it. A group of figures looked up towards the tabula. They were all colored red. I'd seen something like it before. Getting up close and personal to GEHNEN'S leathery corpse wasn't pleasant, but we had to figure out how to get out of there. GEHNEN had certainly been busy before he blew his brains out. I wonder what he'd been up to. It had to be GEHNEN, in which case the body had been there for decades. There was a bullet hole in the side of his head. Just like us, he'd been trapped. He'd chosen suicide. It was an old pistol. I guessed GEHNEN had used it to blow his brains out. I picked up the old gun. It was too corroded and rusty to ever be fired again. It was a fedora, just like the one in GEHNEN'S trunk back at the CASTELL. The years hadn't been kind to it. It was an old water canteen. The contents had long since been drunk. The shape matched the symbol of the Tabula Veritatis from the painting. This had to be it. Nico!
What?
Is this what I think it is? It must be the Tabula Veritatis.
So GEHNEN did find it.
It's so small, so innocent looking. Why would Simeon call it evil? Why so many deaths for this?
And why go to such lengths to keep it hidden?
Unless it is as genuinely dangerous as Simeon claimed.
The question now is, what do we do with it?
An old black and white photograph. The subject was hard to make out. Someone had written on it. The photograph was of an ancient clay tablet. GEHNEN had written on it. Someone, presumably GEHNEN, had taken the time to translate the inscription. At a glance, the inscription seemed to relate to the exploits of someone called the Sun King. The symbol on the tablets looked similar to the ones etched into the face of the Tabula Veritatis. If the translation is right, the symbol La-On represents the Sun King. If the rest of the translation is anything to go by, sounds like he was quite the badass in his time. Apparently, the symbol Ib-On-Shi meant 3 kingdoms. Shi translates as Mountain Kingdom. GEHNEN had marked this symbol with the letter B. If GEHNEN'S translation is correct, the symbol La-Ha-Shi represents the Sun City region. GEHNEN had marked this symbol in red with the letter A. Du-A-Shi apparently means the Two River region. The symbol Ku-is-I was translated as people, travel, look. Some kind of prehistoric tourists? It looks like Ku-u is the symbol for the tabula veritatis in this language. The symbol G-ip-ku meant ending enemy people. I'd guess that means poking people with pointy sticks rather than kissing and making up. If GEHNEN'S translation is correct, the symbol Ka-ip-ha means burning enemy cities. Whoever this Sun King guy was, he certainly had a point to prove. GEHNEN had translated this symbol, Du-u, as 4 victories. If GEHNEN'S translation is correct, the symbol La-ji-shi represents the Sunset Mountain. Sounds like a theme park ride. GEHNEN had translated this glyph, Ah-shu, as Blood River. Doesn't sound like a vacation spot. The symbol Ju-ha was translated as the Young Cities. GEHNEN had marked this symbol with the letter E. If GEHNEN'S translation is correct, the symbol Ip-lu-ap means enemy godhouse, probably the temple of some rival deity. The symbol La-on-I meant the Sun King looked. Si-ip-ju was translated as the Gardens of Enemy Dead. According to GEHNEN'S translation, this symbol is I-ju-lu, which means witnessing the start of Godhead. I prized the map out from under the arm of the corpse. It looked like GEHNEN had scrawled some kind of last testament onto this map. My friends, I know that you will eventually find me, but by then it will be too late. I have decoded the tabula, and I know our destiny lies in paradise. The key to the power of God is in our hands. I die secure in the knowledge that you will now be able to complete my work. Tell my family that I died doing my duty, that I surrender my life gladly to the cause. In the light of the day, these words will fade, like our souls. But rest assured that when they do, their echoes will guide us to where we will meet once again. I'm not sure, but it looks like crafty old GEHNEN left a secret message in his testament. When I held the map up to the flame, something started to change. The writing on the map started to react to the heat. Well, I'll be darned.
What is it?
At a guess, the locations on the map might match up with the ones he's marked on this photograph. Hey. What are you looking for?
I'm not sure yet, but there has to be some way of opening the door.
Laughing boy over there may beg to differ.
But George, he didn't have a woman's eye for detail.
I wondered if GEHNEN'S notes on the photograph might help me decode the tabula. That was the first row of symbols cracked. It was all starting to make sense. So, these are directions. Begin at Sun City, travel 5 days east to a river, travel south 6 days through a desert to the source of 4 rivers. Hey, Nico, I've cracked it!
Fantastic!
The Tabula Veritatis, it's a set of directions. Take a look at this map. The inscription says to start here at Sun City. GEHNEN hid the location in his map. It then says to travel 5 days east to a river, then turn south and travel 6 days through a desert to the source of 4 rivers.
And what is that?
I'm not sure, but it must be important, right?
Right. Important enough for the Gnostics to try and keep it a secret for thousands of years. And guess what? I think I may have found a way out.
You have?
Look, while you were busy playing Ancient Scholar, I found this.
What did it do?
I'm not sure.
It didn't open the door.
Perhaps we're missing something.
Must be. If GEHNEN died looking for a way out, there has to be more to it than just a hidden button.
Then let's keep looking.
The ornate lamp warranted a closer look. Ex luce veritas. Out of light truth. I'd seen the same words on the fresco at CASTELL de SANTS. Hey. We any closer to getting out of here?
There has to be a way to release the door. Something that GEHNEN'S missed. Or something that GEHNEN'S didn't know. That's right. This was a Gnostic shrine. What would the Gnostics have done?
The medallion fitted snugly into the socket. Whoa, would you take a look at that?
The light from the medallion is illuminating this green figure.
This could be our ticket out of here.
If you're right, that explains why GEHNEN'S never got out of here. He didn't have the medallion.
I gave the statue a push, and it turned anti-clockwise. I gave the statue another shove.
That sounded like something important happened. That sounded like something important happened.
Is that the door?
Thank God. I was getting worried we'd be trapped here, just the two of us forever.
There could have been worse ways of being trapped forever.
It is the door. Come on, Georges.
Nico and I had the Tabula Veritatis at last. Now all we needed to do was to find Eva and rescue Marquez. And make our getaway.
Don't die on me now, old man.
Georges, it's Langdon.
Stay back.
For the last time, where is the tabula?
You'll never find it.
It's here in this chapel, isn't it?
Just tell him, Papa.
I will tell you nothing.
Look at your daughter, Senor. My man would be happy to hurt her.
I cannot let you raise Lucifer. You will bring chaos to the world.
George, we have to do something.
With luck, Langham wouldn't notice that the gun was useless. Hold it there, Langham.
Well, if it isn't my least favorite American. Where is the tabula?
Even if I did have it, why would I give it to you?
Because you don't have a choice.
For God's sake, shoot him, George.
Yes, go on. Shoot me, why don't you?
Don't push me.
That gun would never fire. Give me the gun before you hurt yourself.
I didn't rate my chances with just a rusty old pistol.
Now, do you have the tabula?
I don't have it. We couldn't find it.
You're lying. I promise you I will kill the old man. I ask again, do you have the tabula?
If I give you the tabula, then you promise you'll let us all go free?
I give you my word.
No, George, no.
So, the tabula veritatis. Actually, I will need to take the girl with me. The old man would just slow us down.
No, I'm staying here. My father needs medical help. If he doesn't get it, he will die.
Oh, really?
No!
Problem solved.
Langham, you'll rot in hell for what you've done.
Hell, quite the opposite, believe me. The world will be a better place, George, once Jehovah has been destroyed.
What?
Lucifer will set us free.
You can't destroy Jehovah.
I can, and I will. Bring the girl.
But you agreed to let us all go free.
She may be of use yet. One of my men will be outside. If they try to follow me, shoot them.
It would be my pleasure, boss.
Eva. You must get the tabula back.
We don't even know where he's going.
All we know is that it's somewhere in the Middle East.
Nothing else?
There was a note, something about our destiny lies in paradise?
And we found a map. It shows the source of 4 rivers, but that's all we have.
Can it be?
You know what that means?
In Genesis, there is a river. It flows from paradise and divides into 4.
Where is this place? This paradise?
Eden. He's going to Eden.
The Garden of Eden? But that's just a Bible story, a myth.
No, it's a real place. It's where Jehovah created life, where Lucifer gave Eve knowledge, where the gods are held in balance.
And now Langham has the tabula to lead him right to it.
Only you can stop him. You must defeat him.
But how?
Eva, she will know.
He'd gone, but I knew he was right. We had to stop Langham and rescue Eva. Marquez was dead. Listen, This is a big mistake. You have to let us out of here.
You stick your head out of that door and I will put a bullet in it.
Nico, that thug isn't going to let us just walk out.
Let me talk to him. Hey, handsome. Could you find it in your heart to let me out?
Look, love, I'll just as happily put a bullet in you as your yank friend. If you fancy your chances, then feel free to try and escape. I never miss.
You could have just said no.
Any luck?
I gave him my best charming French damsel. Nothing. I think it's time to start thinking of another way out.
There was a door at the bottom of the steps, but I would never have managed to reach it. The guard was standing by the door. He was pretty angry. It was a rickety old drain pipe. It had definitely seen better days. The drain pipe entered a small, flat drain cover. Hey, Nico, I've got a plan. Over.
Roger, George, what are you thinking? Over.
I'm going to place the radio out here. Maybe it'll be enough to distract the guard. Give me a second to set this up, then start talking.
Got it.
I carefully positioned the radio in the drain.
Quick, George, I found a way out.
I'm warning you, I will shoot.
The hammer hit the guard on the head with enough force to knock him out. Nico, let's get out of here. That guard won't be causing us any more problems.
What did you do to the guard?
Those steps must have been slippery. He took a little tumble. Nico, look. There's a cable car ready to go. Quick, before Langham locks down the system.
You don't think perhaps we should have waited for the next one?
Well, we caught it, didn't we? What's all the fuss? Now,
If I can just open this window, I think we'll be fine. Okay, maybe not. Don't panic just yet. I'll think of something. I couldn't quite reach the handle. Hang on in there.
I'm hanging on, George.
Damn it. It's a little stuck. Just give me a second.
Just hurry up.
Nico!
So, we meet again. I've come for my painting.
What painting?
La Maledicción.
Gesundheit.
Don't play games with me. We both know the painting conceals a treasure, Mr. Stubborn.
You know, even if the painting was yours, I wouldn't give it to you. You're just a common gangster.
A fine sentiment. But I won't let you cross me again.
Again?
You stole my ruble. My Platinum 12 ruble.
That was just an old coin.
$150,000 worth of old coin.
Wow. Well, a guy could do a lot of redecorating with that.
Enough of your American humor. You will tell me where to find the treasure, and you will tell me now.
Not gonna happen. And did you really just say, so we meet again?
Hello? Down here!
Oh, hello, miss.
Could you help me out, please?
Sorry, no can do. But while you're down there, maybe you can clear something up for me.
What?
Something you said when we first met's been playing on my mind.
Do I have a choice?
Exactly.
Exactly what?
Choice.
I don't follow.
You see, I'm a determinist. Goes with this line of work. But what you said in London made me ask one of the big questions. Is there such a thing as free will? Because if there is, then I've made some pretty dodgy choices in my time. So help me out a bit here.
So, do you have regrets?
No, I don't think so. But I am a little worried. This whole free will thing has got me thinking.
What do you enjoy in life, Shears?
Well, I like footy, a good scrap, and topiary.
We have a choice. We always have a choice. Just like you've got a choice right now. Help us or not.
I don't know. I'd like to. But the boss...
My philosophy class seemed to be working. So, you're a determinist. Isn't that just an excuse to let Medovsky boss you around?
At least I know who's controlling me actions. Do you?
Of course. I do as I choose.
So you chose to leap off that cable car, did you?
Yes, because you and Medovsky shot at me. You did choose to shoot at me, didn't you?
Well, yes. But I didn't choose to shoot that geezer in the gallery.
Face it, Shears. Determinism is just a way to hide from responsibility.
Maybe you're right. So what?
Can't you stop Medovsky?
As I said, it'd be futile to try. His actions are predetermined, like mine.
It's lovely chatting, but couldn't we discuss this somewhere more convivial?
No way. The boss wants you dead.
Why not choose what you want to do?
Oh, I need to be sure.
Is there nothing you can do to help us, Shears?
It's more than my job's worth.
So, you're a football fan, right?
Gotta love the beautiful game.
So, if determinism was valid, why would anyone play? What would be the point of it all?
Sometimes when we lose, that's just what I think.
If what you create in topiary is predetermined, what's the point?
Topiary isn't about freedom of expression. It's horticultural Valium. It makes the voices stop.
You never intended to kill Henri?
I just wanted to rough him up a little. But the gun went off and the rest is history. Free will didn't come into it.
But you'd made a choice not to shoot him. The fact he died was an accident.
So you think I've got a chance of redemption?
See? You didn't choose to kill Henri.
He died regardless.
Exactly. It was accidental homicide. If by redemption you mean a spell in jail with time off for good behavior, then yes, I think there is a chance for you.
And you know what?
No. Enlighten me.
I'm getting too old for this crime lark. I think I'm having an epiphany. Of course, it might just be indigestion. No, it's definitely an epiphany. I think you're right. The only thing that has led me here is me and my actions. I'm going to talk to the boss. He's sure to listen to reason. Boss! Boss!
What is it, you imbecile? How many times have I told you not to interrupt me when I'm about to kill somebody? Remember what we agreed. I am the big man who takes care of the big things.
And I am the little man who takes care of the little things.
Exactly. So, haven't you got a little thing you should be doing?
There is one little thing, now you mention it.
Well, don't let me stop you. Get on with it, you big baboon.
If you say so, boss.
Oh dear.
There you go. Free will under orders. Now that is what I call a real paradox.
Josh? You took your time back there.
Medovsky and I had a lot to catch up on. And you and Shears seem to be getting on just fine. So, I figured you'd holler when you were done. Always nice to see old friends.
Oh, thank God it's you two. You would not believe what just happened.
Try us.
Oh dear, the monks aren't going to like that.
We had a little philosophical disagreement on the way up. Nothing the little TLC won't fix.
Yeah, they're not really broken, more in a transitional state. It's amazing what a lick of paint can do.
What now, George?
We find Langham, we stop his crazy plan, we rescue Eva, and you win a Pulitzer.
When you put it like that, George, sounds easy.
So, how are we going to catch Langham now?
Well, we've got a pretty good idea where he's going.
True, Mesopotamia. Or Iraq, as it is now. Not exactly a prime tourist spot.
Need a lift?
I don't think we'll catch Langham in a limo, but thanks.
I'm not talking limo, mate. I'm talking Madovsky's full-on, fully fueled tax and ticket Learjet 60.
You think you can get us to Iraq?
Wouldn't be the first time, if you know what I mean. I've got the keys, the contacts, and a full drinks cabinet. How about it? It's the least I can do.
The last thing I remembered was getting on board Madovsky's jet and accepting a cocktail from Shears. Hello? Anybody there? What happened to the lights?
Is that better?
Whoa! Senor Marquez?
Indeed. Hello, George.
But you're dead.
Does death worry you?
You bet. I got a nasty feeling it's coming my way.
You have no choice. You cannot allow Langham to destroy Jehovah. Lucifer and Jehovah must rule in harmony, or chaos will prevail.
Don't listen to him, George. He is here to lead you astray. He is a Gnostic, a heretic. Lucifer is the devil. He should be defeated. Jehovah must reign supreme.
Whoa, hold your horses, Padre. I'm no big fan of the devil, but follow Jehovah, and what do you get? Subservience, repression, mindless conformity. Not my cup of tea, pal. I'm more into sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Bacchus is the god for me.
Ah, see what you get when you turn from Jehovah. A paint-spattered hedonist. Don't listen to either of them, George. A heretic and a lazy drunk.
Hey, I'm not lazy.
Nor I a heretic.
I were best forger in the business.
And I gladly died for my faith, as did thousands of my ancestors.
Whoa, 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 fellas, please. My dream, my rules, okay? Now, it seems to me that what you call greed, he'd call ambition, and your subservience is his order. In just about an hour's time, I'm going up against a guy who intends to destroy God. I need advice. Practical advice.
Have a stiff drink and go down fighting. You're a dead man walking anyway.
Nonsense. Put your faith in God, and he will be your shield.
Don't listen to them, George. They're both wrong. Maintain the harmony. Protect the balance.
But how do I...
You have the answer in your hands, George.
In my hands? What do you mean?
Josh? Josh, wake up. You were dreaming.
What? Oh. What was all that about?
You were dreaming. Something about sex and drugs from the sound of it.
Yeah. Are we there yet?
Well, that looks like the source of 4 rivers, so the Garden of Eden is right down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I hope you've had a pleasant flight. The temperature in Eden is a pleasant 30 degrees centigrade. We shall be landing on a flat plain about 2 kilometres into the desert, which you will find is a pleasant stroll to your destination. Fasten your seatbelt and all that gubbins. Finally, may I take this opportunity of thanking you personally for choosing to fly Air Shears. We do hope you'll fly again with us soon.
Come on, I think we're nearly there.
Wait, Charles. I think Shields is having a moment.
Bleeding hellfire. I'm cream crackered. Just give me a moment.
You go on. We'll catch you up.
What do you think we're going to find?
Well, at a guess. Ancient prophecies, supernatural curses, devil rising.
Well, let's hope it's our lucky day. Do you think the Garden of Eden is actually up here?
Remember, it's a very ancient site we're looking for. Who knows what it might be like now?
You okay?
Yeah, just give me a moment.
Guys, there's a small problem.
Is it Langham?
No, it's worse than that. Come look.
Oh, George, stop being so overdramatic.
Oh, look, a goat.
You like goats?
Love 'em. Hey, we could call it Donna.
Oh, what a lovely name. Isn't it, Princess? Are you hungry, my lovely?
Okay, while you get all David Attenborough on us, I'll take a look around. That's a Wolfram truck, which means Langham can't be far away. There you all are. But where's Langham? Psst.
What have we got here then?
Do you think the boss is coming out?
Dunno and don't care. I was only here to blow a hole in that rock. Job done. Just waiting for me ride home.
Let's give him half an hour, max. This place gives me the willies.
Oh, don't be such a wuss. A few old statues. What could possibly go wrong? All right. Like you said, 30 minutes.
We need to get past these idiots and stop Langham.
Tricky. They've got some tasty-looking shooters. Besides, I'm a reformed man. I've given up senseless violence. Miss Collard is leading me out of the darkness and into the promised land. One day at a time.
Oh, that's great, Shears. Great. Terrific timing. I guess we're going to have to find a way past them. A large statue of a creature with a winged bull's body and a human head. Looked pretty intimidating. A giant stone head lay on the ground. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Hey, Shears. Any idea how to get past these guards?
Some sort of distraction, I guess.
So, what are we going to do about these guys?
Perhaps you could create some kind of distraction.
The back of the truck was full of sealed boxes and crates. A knapsack had been thrown on top. I grabbed the knapsack. It was full of military items. Hey, Sears.
Hello, my darlings.
What's all this stuff?
Explosives mostly. Right little treasure trove.
It was either a giant slab of bubblegum or a block of explosive. The writing on the side was the giveaway. I'm guessing this isn't a giant stick of gum.
Dead right, Georgie boy. It's TNT. Don't worry about it, though. It's perfectly safe. Long as you don't pull that timer cord. And if you do, give us a shout first.
Long tubes wrapped in paper. Certainly looked like dynamite. Is that what I think it is?
Careful! Dynamite is fickle, unpredictable, and dangerous. Just like her indoors. No gymnastics while you got that stuff in your pocket.
It was a roll of duct tape. If you can't repair something with duct tape, you're not using enough duct tape. A cardboard roll containing some kind of wire. What's that?
Fuse wire. Cut a length off, stick it in something that goes bang, light it and do a runner.
Sounds simple enough.
It is, until you make a mistake.
What on earth is that, Shears? It looks dangerous.
Careful, it could be anything. Gelignite, plastic, or it could be someone's lunch.
Yeah, I think what you got there is a sausage. Local delicacy, I expect. It was a battered old lighter. A monogram on the front read, "Put your own personal monogram here." The classic badass lighter. I took it. I needed all the help I could get. Ripe figs hung just out of reach of the goat. I had an idea. I wonder just how much that goat liked figs. Hey, goat, want a fig? With my best throw, I tossed one of the ripe figs. It landed close to the group. None of them spotted it. I casually tossed a fig to the bottom of the path.
I knew it was a sausage. Shears knew it was a sausage. But one tiny length of fuse wire and... voila! Dynamite. Nico, a hand, please. You seem to have a bond with these creatures.
I hope you're not thinking of harming Donna.
Trust me, a cunning 6-phase plan is forming, wholly approved by all the major animal rights organizations. Just keep her still for a second.
Why have you attached the sausage to Donna?
That's phase 1. Now, watch as the others come together.
If it's all the same to you, I'll watch from over there.
I had a fake piece of dynamite strapped to the goat. Phase 1 of my plan, complete. Now, I just had to figure out phases 2 to 6. That should do the trick. Cry havoc and let slip the goats of war.
Oh, hello, Goaty. Oh, fellas, what's he got round his neck? Looks like... Oh, my God. A scarper!
Langham's guards must have been spooked. There was no sign of them.
So, in there then? It looks dark.
I ain't going in there. Tight spaces give me the heebie-jeebies. Why don't I stay here and make sure the 3 wise monkeys don't come back?
The cave was pitch black, too dark to see a thing.
Come here, George. What are you doing?
I was just trying to liven things up.
With a pocket full of dynamite? I'll be having those explosives, George.
But...
No. No buts, George.
Through the gloom, I could just see stairs leading down. Come on, Nico. We need to find Langham.
Wow. This place is extraordinary. You think this is really Eden?
Well, if you see any apples, think twice before you eat them. Look. Lucifer. Jehovah.
And Langham.
He's got Eva. Whatever he's up to.
I hope we're in time.
Look, the altar. The glowing thing? It's the shape of the tabula. We have to get across there, quick. Eva was tied to the rock. She didn't strike me as the damsel in distress type. I had to find a way across the gap. The ancient bridge had collapsed many years ago. Langham had used a ladder to cross, but that ladder was now on the other side. A tangled mass of dry old vines hung from the ceiling. The ladder got caught up in it. It was a dried-up, dead-looking bush. What do you suppose Langham's up to?
Whatever it is, we need to stop him before it's too late.
The lighter had run out of fuel, but the flint could still make sparks.
Charles, what are you doing?
I kind of have a plan.
Well, I hope it works.
It was a burning bush. How very biblical. I love the smell of bread in the morning.
Don't you ever give up, but you're too late. No one can stop me now.
Do something, George. He's crazy.
No, not crazy, as you will soon see.
What are you going to do with the tabula?
It is the key that will awaken the two gods. Upon my command, Lucifer shall smite Jehovah with his power, annihilate him.
You'll destroy us all!
Ha! The ancients who built these statues feared their powers, but soon I shall control them.
You can't destroy Jehovah. You'll shatter the balance. You'll plunge the world into chaos.
No. Ruled by Lucifer, man will be liberated to realize his greatest ambitions, to realize his full potential.
But this isn't the place to discuss these things.
Where do you suggest?
How about eternity?
George!
Ecce homo!
Nico, you must stop him.
Eva, what do we do? I don't know.
But your father said you had the answer.
He used to talk about pure light. Pure light? What does that mean? I don't know. That's what he said. Pure light, white light, will conquer. Charles!
A massive statue of Lucifer towered over the altar. Blue light shot from the orb in his hand.
Nico! Pure light! Get me light!
A massive statue of Jehovah framed on one side of the altar. Green light shot from the orb in his hand.
Run for it, Eva!
That's it, Nico. Rise up, Lucifer. Smite Jehovah.
Just got it. Focus the light. Pura, lux, pictura est.
Jehovah must be destroyed. The world will embrace Lucifer. What gives you the right to stand in his way?
Free will. That's what we bring. Humanity brings free will. The final piece of the Trinity.
While you've been larking about, I've been thinking about supper. How does a nice barbecue tickle your fancy?
I think you'd better have this, don't you?
My father gave his life to find it. Now I must spend mine protecting it.
How? Where will you go?
To Catalonia. I have a house and a chapel to restore. And a new life to build as a Gnostic leader.
You know, Nico, this time I really wasn't sure if we were going to make it.
Perhaps we had the gods on our side, or whatever those powers were.
Maybe you're right.
You know, we make a great team.
We could be more than a team.
Oh?
Before this all started, back in Paris, I was just about to invite you out to...
Oi! Dinner is served.
Fantastic.
What's on the menu?
Doner kebabs with a spicy fig compote.
Wait, Donna as in... Donna?
But Nico, I thought you loved goat.